franchise feedback or suggestions? And has there been any input from franchisees that have actually added to the menu, or something has changed as a result of your network?
Ethically, yes. No, we love boots on the ground feedback. That's what we want. So we want to get you open. We want to train you. And then once you're up and running, we want that feedback. So we have franchisee committees, which meet on different topics, whether we're launching a new initiative or we're revisiting the, ideal menu lineup that we do. We're running data reports. I have a woman on my team who's one of her main jobs is to run reports on the data. Being an economics major, I love all the numbers. So we're taking that feedback and that data and we're using it every year to grow. So every fall we have the summit. All of our franchisees come to Maryland. So we're just coming off of our summit and we get ready for the year ahead. So we're sharing what menus are being run, what new initiatives they're having. So yes, we love the feedback. We just want it to be in a team mentality where we're testing the feedback to make sure that it works on a nationwide scale.
Super smart. Jessi, you referenced earlier on, I didn't get a chance to ask about the different revenue streams. So what else besides classes would you say are the multiple revenue streams of the business?
Guys, yeah. So camps all summer, every school holiday. Then we have adults. Adults are going to be our classes, date nights, and our corporate events, and the private parties for adults. Then we have our birthdays. And then we have, wait, I'm blanking, camps, adults, birthdays. And then the others is our kids classes. These are like the little guys that you sprinkle in. So the caregiver and me classes, the field trips, schools coming into you. So those guys kind of balance it out between all the ages and public and private.
And merchandise or products that you sell also?
Not much. We used to dabble in that. Inventory is expensive and it's hard to keep stocked, right? You need extra storage, you need extra capital, and really people are here to have a good time. So we found that we're not trying to sell them on any particular thing, although you'll have tons of people on Amazon, ordering what we're cooking with because it's so fun to use our tools.
Of course.
No, we don't sell anything except for aprons, Taste Buds Kitchen aprons and chef hats.
Right. What's the investment range for the franchise?
Oh yeah. So item 7, we've got a good item 7 in 2024. It's between 380 and 530,000. So that's your total. For those listening, don't know the total investment of every dollar you'll spend from our best estimates from today until you're open. So franchise fee, construction, everything for your kitchen, money to come in for training, signage, lawyer to review your lease, right? Kind of adding up every dollar and penny and cents to get you open.
And is it territory based? How far apart?
We have territories. So it's 100,000 people generally. Can be depends on mileage. In a city, I'm sure it could be like a city block, but it can generally go up anywhere between 4 and 8 miles if it's not as populated. So between 0 and 8.
Right. And what about evaluating new markets? Where are you trying to go?
Yeah, so we have partnered with this really great company and it's very cool being a data lover. We've given them our sales data and we have mapped the country mile by mile to figure out who is the buyer of Taste Buds Kitchen, who are our clients.
And the psychodemographics of the current buyers.
Yes, exactly. We've profiled them, we know who they are, and then we used Experian credit card data to find others of them around the country. And we know where we're going. So we want to open 200 locations in the next 5 years. I think the country can do 400 to 500, but our first target is on 200. So definitely the big cities, the nice affluent suburbans. But yeah, we have it mapped. And so it's great now when we get a franchise lead, we're able to go in and say like, yes, this supports a kitchen, or no, I'm so sorry, we have our buyers there, but just not enough to support a vibrant kitchen. So, are you willing to drive 45 minutes to this area that is available? Otherwise, we know where it's too small as well.
Jessi, I am so jealous because back when I started in 2003, there was no software like this.
No, right?
It took years. I think it was probably around 2009, I'm thinking, was when we finally got our hands on software like that. So we had the psychodemographics. We knew exactly who all of our members were, where they were in every franchise location. And then it was super easy, right? Because if a territory is going to work or not. But truthfully, in 2003 and through the mid 2000s, I mean, it was a gamble. Yeah. I think it's a good territory. You didn't know.
When we started, that's exactly right. It's a good market. You can see the demographics, how many people, you can see household income, number of children, all those things, but you can't necessarily predict as well as you'd like to now, right? The softwares are amazing.
Yeah, like that software was only available to like large franchisors. It was a huge investment. And and now it's every day for, an emerging franchise like yourself. It definitely gives peace of mind for the prospective franchisee knowing on where they should open, but I'm not sure if they realize how powerful it is.
No, you don't know what you don't know, right? Either which way. And that is important to us. That's our guarantee to every franchisee is we won't approve a location to open that we wouldn't open ourselves. And that's really important, right? I want to think that you have every chance of or every opportunity for success. So if I would have done it had I lived where you lived, right, then that's kind of our stamp of approval. And that helps, we work with CBRE, who's excellent on real estate site selection, but we want to find those great spaces that are affordable, where the build out's going to be as streamlined as possible, where your clients are going to come, where it's going to be easy for them to come experience culinary entertainment at its best.
Jessi, you've been doing this 10 years now. What has been the biggest surprise since you started franchising?
Biggest surprise. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
If we all knew that going in, none of us would do it.
It's so true. No, it's so true. It's so funny. I used to tell myself, I was like, when I grow up, I don't want to be a franchisor. I told myself this after I was a franchisor. But I do love it, and I am glad that we did it. But it's a lot. Because, I was good at running Taste Buds Kitchen, and then all of a sudden you're now running a company that's nationwide with all of franchisees who have their own investments and their own dreams and their own communities. And it's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle. So I would say that's been my biggest takeaway. But
I'm with you. With you. It's
not for the faint of heart.
It's a lot of different personalities and different aspirations from different people. But I felt the weight on my shoulders of, I wanted these people to be super successful, every franchise owner. And in some cases, and I hope that there's emerging franchisors that hear this, sometimes I wanted their success more than they did. Mm-hmm. That sometimes a franchise owner, no matter how much I try to position it, just because you open a franchise doesn't mean you're going to have customers walking through your door automatically. Like, success is not instant. Like, the work has just begun once you've invested in the franchise. It's not over yet.
Yeah. No, and that's and I share with you the weight of their success, right? Because they've taken a lot of money and they've invested and they believe in me and they believe in our team. And that's why they're doing this. But you're exactly right. It's a business in a box is what a franchise should be, but no franchise is easy. It has to be worked. And that's really why our number one thing we look for in franchisees is an engaged owner. Someone that wants to be engaged with this experience and wants to build this team and care how it's doing. I had a conversation years ago with a franchisee, which sounds like very similar to some of your experiences. I wanted more for them and I was pushing for more for them. They were okay. And that's a tricky position to be in when you see potential and and we've worked through it actually and they're performing very well and I think have come to the other side of it. But it was a call of kind of my goals and dreams are not necessarily their goals and dreams, right? So we have to work on this together to get the best for them and also the best for us as a brand in that market.
We have to remember that not every franchise owner is going to be us. I think when we first start in franchising, we think, I'm going to find people that are like me. But that's not who your franchisee profile is, number one.
Correct. And probably would be a disaster.
No, you would have been a horrible franchisee.
I was right. That's exactly right.
We would have been terrible franchisees. First of all, were you really going to want to follow rules?
Well, that's very true. Yes. That would probably not pass the profile test for franchisees. Right?
Probably wouldn't have, and that's fine.
Yes, no, exactly.
But the thing about the aspirations of different franchise owners, forget where they may be even geographically. Everybody's maybe in a different stage of their life. You might get the grandparent that wants to do this business and they see this as more just for their lifestyle and it's fun and they get to do this and they're doing this as their next stage in their life, where somebody younger might be really hungry and has a young family and they're like, I want this thing to blow up. I'm going to open, Jessi, I want to own 10 locations and I want to, be the behemoth in your network. And just everybody has they're all motivated differently. And I think that's part of the challenge with being an emerging founder is navigating that everybody has different needs and different goals. We're not prepared for that.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. But yet one brand, right? And this is what I'm always saying is you have different needs and goals from this franchisee to this franchisee, but we all have one brand, right? So we do this the same way. So we're creating a consistent client experience for all of our guests that they can come to know and love. And it's okay to be different in your goals and your dreams for yourself, right? And what your business grows to, but we've all got to do it the same way. And that's something like if, for the aspiring franchisor, the newbie franchisors, that's so important to protect, right? Because it is who you are. Your brand is the experience that your clients get, and the experience they're getting in Colorado has to be the same experience that they're getting in Kansas.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep,
and that's
sure.
like the name of the game for emerging franchise brands that we're really have tried to be very protective of, because without that, you can't grow.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.